you tell if your fragrance is real? This is a question that I have seen so many fucking times over the past few years. I've been making fragrance content since 2022 here on YouTube, so you guys might have seen me around, and if you have, then make sure you subscribe if you haven't already. But I am mostly known on TikTok, where I've answered millions and millions of people about the fragrance question. So guys, how do you know fragrances are real? I have a collection of over 300 fragrances. Some of them sent to me directly from the companies, some of them purchased myself, actually most of them purchased myself, and then I have a lot of dupe, Arabian Middle Eastern fragrances that are, almost always sent to me, but I have purchased quite a few of those myself too. So I know what I'm talking about, and not always, listen, I'm not saying that like, oh, I'm always right, I know everything, I have a lot of fragrances. No, I'm saying that I have been well versed in fragrances and seen a lot when it comes to what they entail. So how do you tell if your fragrance is real? The answer is not going to be one that a lot of you enjoy, in fact, a lot of you are going to be pissed about it, Don't buy your fragrances from sketchy places and it will almost always be legit. It's that simple, guys. When you buy your fragrances from online discounters, I wouldn't even say it's a gamble. If you stick to the authentic, legit, vouched upon retailers, say like Aura Fragrance, Joma Shop, Fragrance Net, Ediscount Perfumes, Fragrance Empire, they're always going to be legit. They're legit places that people have talked about for, quite a while now, and you're not going to have any problems. There are instances where things slip through the cracks. We've all read about the fragrance discounter horror stories, and it's not limited to one specific discounter. It's something that all of them have had, issues with. So that's why I say, 99% of the time you're not going to have an issue. I bought most of my fragrances pretty much, I'd say, the majority, the vast majority from discounters. A lot of the times I use Aura Fragrance. I've used Fragrance by CA, Perfume Online. They I actually did a brand deal with them last year. It was about a little over a year ago. So Perfume Online, legit. Again, another Canadian retailer, just like Fragrance by CA. Joma Shop, I'm partnered with them. I don't like to promote them much though, because they don't always take care of me. So, and their deals are always a little overpriced. But some of them are fire. Some of them are fire, like my Xerjoff that I got was fire. Regardless, a lot of discounters out there, they are legit. But if you buy your fragrance from Free Fragrance, Trust Me, legit.com, you're gonna get scammed, okay? If you buy your fragrance off some dude named, Real Guy Billy Bob off of Marketplace, you're gonna get scammed, okay? A lot of it comes down to context clues. If you don't have the ability to judge context clues, maybe you should do a lot of research before just making a purchase. There's so many people that have made fragrance purchases impulsively from places that they really shouldn't have, and I feel bad for those people. It sucks. I don't want to see anyone get scammed off of fragrance. This is a hobby that we should all be able to enjoy, but there's so many places out there that are legit that if you even just do the most minuscule amount of research, you can find the answer to. Reddit, Facebook groups, Fragrance Marketplace. I know it's a little hard to get in there. I am in there personally. It's a little hard to get in, but you can get into Fragrance Marketplace. You can get into the big groups, fragrance groups on Facebook. You can look at Reddit pages. I used to be on Reddit pages all the time. I'm still following it. I just don't, go on it a ton because I don't, I talk about fragrances all day. I don't always like to read about them too. But there are so many sources out there, TikTok videos, YouTube videos, Instagram videos. There's so many sources to find out which discounters are legit. So use those. Don't just make impulse purchases, and you will almost always be fine. I'm not going to say, always, because I don't want to be that guy that's like, well, you'll never have a problem. And then some fucking Joe Bob in the comments who's like, well, actually, I bought from Joma Shop and they fucked me. Well, I don't know. Be safer next time. Bro, I don't know. There's always going to be, some sorts of issues, the chance of some issues, I should say. But if you use the major discounters, you're going to be fine. My friend owns Fragrance Empire, totally legit site. Like, I know him. I see like what's going on the back end. I run the social media. I help out with the social media, so I don't fully run it, but it's legit. Joma Shop, it's a big company. Their deals aren't always the best, but they're legit. Fragrance has been around since like the 80s or 90s. Legit. They follow me on TikTok. They're legit. A lot of places are legit out there, and there's always new ones surfacing, so just do your most basic bit of research, and you should almost always be fine. So the answer to the question on how to tell if your fragrance is real or fake, just don't buy from sketchy places, and you will almost always be okay. Just buy from reputable places, and buy retail if you're really that scared, bro. Retail is almost always, it's always overpriced. It's way too much than what almost anyone should be paying. There are some exceptions like LV, some Guerlains, some Tom Ford, but like, almost always you should be using discounters, guys. Tom Ford, you can find a discounter. I don't know what the fuck I'm saying there. Basically, get them from discounters and you're always gonna be fine most of the time. Cheers, guys. This is a little vodka and mixed juice, so I'm gonna sip this up and enjoy the rest of my night. It's currently, hold on, what time is it? Oh, it's 8 o'clock. Look, my girlfriend just texted me. Look at that. Got a girlfriend, thanks to the cologne. That was real, not fake. Cheers. Have a great day.